I am so sick and tired of this chip that you're carrying on your shoulder. We have bent over backwards. We have done backflips to make you feel equal. And yet, we've done everything.
Hey, dear black people, I have a question. I have an authentic question, so I would like an authentic answer. Maybe all of us can learn from this.
Whites are the problem in America. You guys are the issue. You people.
What does that mean to you, Black History Month?
It means that that's racism, because they don't celebrate White History Month. We don't have it. I'm part Italian. I don't have Italian History Month.
Can you name one black invention?
I can actually name 3. Twerking, KFC, and being really loud.
You know what I'm learning about racist white people is they get really offended and angry anytime that someone displays their culture on the live stream because they can't connect with it. They get so upset about Bad Bunny, about black culture because...
Y'all want to know why they hate that we celebrate Black History Month? It's because Black history is a constant reminder that their ancestors were the bad guys.
I am so sick and tired of this chip that you're carrying on your shoulder. We have bent over backwards. We have done backflips to make you feel equal. And yet, we've done everything. Perfect example is in the federal government. If you and I get the exact same rating for a position, do you know what? You get it. And do you know why? Because you're black. Is that fair? Is that fair to me?
There is a woeful lack of understanding, not only in the black community, but really in the white community, of why black people are in the condition that we're in and why all of the efforts that whites have made and government has made to try to solve the problem in the way that government sees fit has not really worked. And blacks are still crying out for more and more and more. And I realize that this is an irritant to white people because you really don't understand. And it's not really your fault. It's not really your fault. You just don't understand. But I think if you gave yourself a chance to hear what happened to these black people that makes them as they are as an irritant to you and those who think you have done the best you could. And maybe you have, but I respectfully suggest to you that there's so much more that could be done, that should be done, and that must be done if America is to survive. Believe me.
Can you name one black invention?
I can actually name 3. Twerking, KFC, and being really loud.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter?
Yeah.
Can you do like any better? Like something that was useful to society?
No.
Why is that?
Because that's the only thing I know that was invented by black people, peanut butter. That's it.
Why do you think there's like literally almost nothing else?
I don't know.
Does it have to do with them being black?
Huh?
Does it have to do with them being black? That they're not able to invent as much stuff?
Possibly.
Possibly?
Yeah.
Like, people think life started in Africa, right? And Africa is one of the most resourceful continent. So why couldn't they invent something before the Arabs had to bring them the wheel?
I don't know.
But why are people scared to say that? Like, obviously people have their strengths and weaknesses. Like, we could acknowledge that black people, you know, they sprint the fastest. There's most of the NBA is black. Why can't we say...
Well, it's just like that, for example, like with like physicality aspects, like it just matters on like the genetics, you know? And they usually say because, you know, with slavery, they had like them procreate with the strongest and fastest, whatever. But it just comes down to like your genetics, I don't know.
I said, name 5 white people in American history who fought against racism and slavery. And I want y'all to think about that because have there been 5 people? Yes. Way more than 5. Thousands. And I would ask you as a follow-up question, why can't you name them then? Because if we are to live in a society that is supposed to be anti-racist, meaning something that we create that benefits all people, not someone more than others, then we should know about people who've been fighting for years and years and years. We should know about Reverend Bruce Clunder, who was a white guy who was protesting school segregation in Ohio, and Ohio is considered the North. He laid his body down in front of a bulldozer in the 1960s to protest school segregation and died. we should probably know about Ann McCarty Braden, who organized with Rosa Parks, and she helped organize white Southerners to join the civil rights movement and to go against redlining, which was systemic ghettoization. She bought a house in her name for a black couple who could not buy a home in the neighborhood they wanted to go to. It's a lot of people. Reverend James Reeb, who marched with Dr. King. We don't often talk about John Brown is probably the most infamous one. But even beyond him, there are so many other folks, even during the period of enslavement. What that means is we can never say they were a product of their time. Not necessarily. They were a product of peer pressure. Think about it that way. Because we know deep down inside when something is right or wrong. General Lee in the Confederate Army, he has a descendant, Robert E. Lee. He has a descendant right now who's a pastor, white guy, who's anti-racist. Was that an easy thing to do? No, because he got kicked out of his church congregation because of that. But it was a bold thing to do. So when we talk about miseducation, it ain't just like, dang, black people, y'all ain't learning your history. White folks, y'all not learning your history.
Whites are the problem in America. You guys are the issue. You guys, you people.
We're trying to get better.
Clump? Whitey?
My stance on it is whatever Will Compton decides, I think we go with as the former Washington rep.
I'm black. I love being black, but there's a time that we can remember that we're slaves, but we need to stop acting like we're slaves. Please watch this video.
They did an experiment where they told a group of women that they're going to put scarring on their faces or visual disfigurements of some kind, and then they would go into an interview, and the purpose of the experiment is to work out whether the interviewer is going to treat them differently because of their facial disfigurement. What they didn't tell the women is as they were leaving to go for the interview, they touched up their makeup without showing them the facial disfigurement, removed the scarring. So they went into the interview thinking they're facially scarred, but they weren't, and they came back reporting massive levels of discrimination, specific comments that the interviewer had made about them that they perceived. You see what you expect to see. This is why teaching people victimhood is so dangerous, because it makes them victims.
There's nothing wrong with teaching the younger generation about how we were treated back then, how others were treated back then, history back then, how slaves were treated back then. But what's an issue is teaching the younger generation to act like a slave, that all white people are treating them like slaves. That's an issue because it's not true. People want to tell me just because I don't talk about slavery enough or the black community and this and that my ancestors would be mad at me. I think ancestors would be more mad at the black community who's still acting like slaves. They fought so hard just for you to whine and cry about being a slave to this country. You're not a slave anymore. That was back then. So why are you living like it is now? Why are you teaching the younger generation, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, that they should be slaves, that they are slaves, that they're a slave to white people? They're not. We're done with that. Like, grow up. It's all about victimhood. Like, y'all are just acting like you're a slave to, I don't understand it. If you're not a slave to anyone, why are you acting like you are? Like, why would you paint that on yourself? Isn't it tiring?
Hey, dear black people, I have a question. I have an authentic question, so I would like an authentic answer. Maybe all of us can learn from this. So, I work in a predominantly black neighborhood, and I hear a lot of conversations. But it seems like when we are all together, racism always comes up. Is it because I'm white and you feel the need to, I don't know, make the situation uncomfortable or make it known to me? Maybe that's what you think of me, or I really don't know, because I'm a pretty decent person and I don't really hold things like that. Those are not my beliefs for sure. Just saying. But so my authentic question is, why do you guys always feel the need to talk about racism around white people? And I'm just using me as an example. So go ahead and let me know your thoughts, please.
Listen to this. Check it out.
I understand now more than ever why white people don't like to learn about Black history, American history, because white America create many of the conditions it now condemns. So you don't get to enslave generations of people, publicly lynch them after Sunday church service, segregate them, strip them of land and wealth, destroy their communities, over-police neighborhoods, flood them with drugs, incarcerate their fathers, underfund their schools, deny them equal protection under the law, and then point out the pain created by those systems and call the people the problem. That is not accountability. That is historical gaslighting. And the audacity of white America to project violence, criminality, and moral failure onto black people while refusing to confront its own history is one of the greatest manipulations this country has ever performed. Because some of the most horrific acts of mankind were committed on American soil. They were not done by the oppressed, they were normalized by the oppressor. Lynchings became family events. Black bodies were burned, tortured, mutilated, bred, sold, violated, experimented on, and discarded while people quoted Bible verses and called it God's will. Entire systems of terror were justified through whiteness, power, colonization, and a man-made interpretation of religion. And the most dangerous lie America ever told was that racism is over simply because the language became more polished. Ruby Bridges is still alive. The descendants of segregationists are still alive. The systems evolved. They did not disappear. So when people say stop blaming the past while actively supporting policies that suppress truth, restrict rights, attack education, control women's bodies, criminalize blackness, divide the poor, and preserve inequality, understand what is really happening. They do not want accountability. They want amnesia. Because racism survives best in a country that pretends.
So these videos that you are seeing right here, most of them, they are old videos, and they were shot during the Black History Month, of which it has brought a lot of concern to me, okay? And I decided to make this video for you guys. And do you know, I hear that there's some claim that that white people, they don't like Black history at all. They are saying when they are being questioned about Black history, why they don't like Black history, the reason they are giving out is that that seems to be racist, because they, as white people, they don't have a day that they do celebrate like that one. They don't have white day history, okay? And that things makes them become so furious and so mad, and they start to complain, they start to argue about it. And you see, they don't like when they see black people celebrating this particular day or month, because they feel like, why are you guys all the time you keep on celebrating, but we as white people, we don't have our day which we celebrate. That is something that it has brought a lot of concern, and many people are furious about it. And it has brought to my attention that most of black people, not all, but black people, most of them, they are coming up to say, to claim that white people must respect our day, and you must know that this is our day, our month, and Black history is there to stay. That is what they are saying, and they are not backing up at any given moment. Most of them are kind of really happy and concerned about this day, and they are saying it will be there, they will be celebrating, and they don't feel ashamed of it. So you, as white people, if you feel like it's offending you, then create your day, celebrate. And that is something that black people have come up to say. Guys, what do you think about this video? Remember guys, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes, to create awareness for you guys to know what's happening. And remember guys, credit belongs to the original creators of these videos, that they made it possible. I want you to watch it till the end. And guys, if you are watching for the very first time, kindly consider subscribing, like this video, and let me know what you think about this video. I'll be back with shortly in the comment section below in the end of this video.
What does that mean to you, Black History Month?
It means that that's racism, because they don't celebrate White History Month. We don't have it. I'm part Italian. I don't have Italian History Month. So what I think it's doing is perpetuating what this divide is in our nation, quite honestly, because I don't feel like that should be highlighted. I don't think that they should be pushing their agenda on myself, because I'm a straight male, I have a wife, and I have children. I don't think that I should have to be bombarded and brainwashed through media, through those months or Pride, Black History. I don't think that's something that should be, dictated to me.
Is it a learning opportunity?
Not at all, because when I was in school, we learned, certain black leaders, things like that. I don't need to hear it every single year for a whole month.
Hey, I saw this video and it was so upsetting, like they all are. These kids were in a store, they were purchasing items, and this Caucasian man came up behind them, poking fun, talking about, oh, where's your EBT card and stuff like that. And they were like, leave us alone. What? Oh, what's wrong with you? And so he showed them a gun. So he had to leave the store. But then the manager began screaming at the top of her lungs for these kids, these teenagers, but still to leave her store. They're like, ma'am, the guy out there got a gun. They're like, leave my store, this store, get out of my store, screaming to the top of her lungs. And I cried because I'm like, they are children. You have no humanity for children. And so the question then becomes, why? Why do some, not all, why do some Caucasians have so much deep-seated hatred? I mean, they despise and loathe and abhor. They detest. Like, yeah, the darker the skin, the deeper their hatred for us. Dude, what? So I'm thinking about it, and being a teacher, it's like, back in the 1500s, 1600s, when they began to settle in the Americas, European countries, all of that sent criminal. You can look it up. They sent their criminal to establish this link. Yes, criminal. Flawed mentality, flawed character, right. And little supervision, well, no supervision, little provision, just ran amok, nearly wiping out all the indigenous people. Who does that, right? So why the hatred? Look at it. After the enslaved people, my people, were free, weren't given any help, they started their own community, their schools, businesses, stores, their own homes, and they were living and flourishing for the most part. They were saying, you know what, we can do this. We can get this done. We can do it. And then those same uneducated, fearful, insecure Caucasian people, not all, but some, a lot, began to say, well, who them black people think they is? Them niggers. Look what they got over there. And so they would come and loot, grape, pillage, and just bludgeon people in the black community. They didn't want to live with them, but still didn't want them to have anything. I mean, you can look it up. Hundreds of communities just burned to the ground. And then, if that wasn't enough, they put a lake over them. Yeah, put a lake over the community that they burned to the ground, that they looted, ran all the people off if they didn't kill them or lynch them. And then every year they go and have fun at that same lake. Who does that? Why the hatred? They had families, and all of that hatred, all of that anger, all of that insecurity, all balled up into one, were taken out on who they wanted to be less fortunate, on who they wanted to be beneath them. They just needed somebody beneath them. And don't get me wrong, there are bullies in every single race. There are bullies all around the world who do horrible things to people for no good reason. But I'm talking about this right here. That K, backwards K, upside down K mentality. Coming after people for no good reason. Hating people for no good reason. It's because of where it stemmed. And it was passed down from generation to generation. I mean, think about it. Think about it. If their family members or their friends showed any empathy for a black person, what you think you do? Nigger lover. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then they would show violent things and bestow violent things onto their own family members. They would treat them just as bad, if not worse, than they did the black. And it's just too much. Think about it. Everybody in America could have had free health care, but there were Caucasian people who didn't want the blacks to have it. So they said, no, we're not going to do that here in America. Could have had a chance for your child, my child, whoever, to go to a university or college for free. But white America said no to that if it was going to be off to the niggers. My mom grew up, and on her road, there were black and white people. And I'm not saying all the white people, but enough white people said no to that road getting electricity. Why? Because the black families would have to get electricity too. So they did without electricity. So the black families would not have electricity. What? That type of dysfunction, that type of toxicity has been passed down and cultivated for generations. The energy that's spent on hating others could be spent on cultivating
a beautiful family, with wonderful children. Because just think about it. What white supremacist family have you ever seen a star born from? Have you ever seen a child reared up in a white supremacist family with that K backwards, upside down K mentality? What child have you seen really reach their full potential coming from that type of background, that type of atmosphere and environment? Unless they had money and could pretend that their children were all of that. Yeah, it's rare. It's rare. But that's why it's so important, for the sake of the child, for the sake of your own children, whether you black, white, Asian, whatever, red, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's so important that you cultivate a positive environment for the child so that they have a right to choose if they want to like somebody or not. This bully mentality, oh my God, look what's going on in America today. We reached the peak of all of this, right? Oh, God of Heaven's army, if only you would show up. But, oh well, we're here now and have to suffer through. Thanks, America. Got what you want.
Y'all want to know why they hate that we celebrate Black History Month? It's because Black history is a constant reminder that their ancestors were the bad guys. All Black history is us overcoming the obstacles that their ancestors put in front of us. Imagine if they had a White History Month, right? What role would we play in White History Month other than we were the ones to help y'all achieve the things that y'all achieved? There's no part of white history where we would be the ones that held white people back from doing anything. But all Black History Month is white people put all of these barriers in front of Black people and we overcame them. We achieved all of this greatness despite being the ones that were being abused and mistreated. And who were doing the abusing and the mistreatment? White people. So they don't like the fact that, us celebrating our history is just a reminder that, dang, they was the bad. Nobody wants to be the bad guy. Everybody wants to be the good guy. So if you was wondering like, dang, why they just won't let us have our own thing? Because that's why. It makes them look bad. Everything about Black history makes white people look bad because of what they did to us. If they would have treated us equally and fairly, it would just be history. It wouldn't be Black history. But we had to achieve our own greatness on our own because of how.
Y'all, so I'm staying at this hotel, right? It's not funny, but it's like I cannot help but like laugh because it's like, what is going on? There is a man, I can't tell if he's upstairs or downstairs. It's a white man, you could tell by his voice, that is just screaming the N-word with the hard ER during Black History Month. He been doing this for days, and it's always midday or in the morning. It's always midday or the morning. And this man just literally, he just starts screaming just F N-words, F N-words, you're just that N-word. Like he's just screaming this. Or he just screams the word in general, just N-word. And it's like, what? Are you in psychosis, sir? Like, what is going on? Are you just waking up mad every day that it's Black History Month? And you can tell he's talking to himself because nobody's screaming back. Nobody's talking back to him. And the way he's just screaming it so randomly, you could tell this just off of his own brain. Like, I just had to tell this to somebody because I've been here for a few days and like literally that's all I keep hearing. Every morning when I wake up, it's just it be dead silent. And next thing you know, I'm hearing the hard ER coming out of a white man's mouth. And I want to report it, but I just don't even know where he's at. I can't tell if he's upstairs, downstairs. I couldn't point this man to you, what room he's in or anything. So it's just like, I don't know. I just had to tell somebody that.
You know what I'm learning about racist white people is they get really offended and angry anytime that someone displays their culture on the live stream because they can't connect with it. They get so upset about Bad Bunny, about Black culture because they don't have culture. They cannot connect. As a Black person, I couldn't understand anything that Bad Bunny was saying either, but I could feel the connection, I could feel the culture, and I actually felt really happy for Latin Americans and Latinos and everyone that's Spanish speaking because they had a moment to connect with their culture and live stream, and I thought it was amazing. But as a Black person, I come from a really amazing, deep culture, so I don't get offended. I think it's amazing. But folks that don't come from culture get really angry and offended because it's a jealousy thing. They wish they had a culture that they could connect with. So instead of just admitting that, they start raging.
As we end this video, I would like to ask you a question, guys. What do you think about this particular video? Do you think it's something that Black history will be remembered forever, or is it something that should be done? And but I'm happy to see that nowadays we have white kids, white parents who are teaching their kids about Black history. And also I'm happy about some white people who are trying to educate other white people about Black history and how to do about it. And that's one thing that really excites me, to see how Black history is being passed and is being taught, so that we avoid this kind of racist thing all the time, racism, you know, and education is something that is very important in this particular section. So I'm happy that things are going on better, and things are moving on slightly well, and I'm pleased to see that people are really learning about Black history. What do you think about this video, guys? Remember, this video is for educational and creating awareness for you guys to know what's happening around the world, and that's how we do it here, guys. We don't promote hate at any given moment. And guys, if you're watching this video and it's the first time you're watching me, guys, kindly consider subscribing, like this video, and share your comments, your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm ending here, guys. I just want to wish you all the very best. Stay safe, peace, one love. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye for now.